In 1992, Batman the Animated Series ran Heart of Ice, the story of Mr. Freeze that went on to win an Emmy. In 93 and 94, the Nightfall story took hold of Batman comics and Detective Comics and showed us Bane breaking the bat. So Joel Schumacher thought, wouldn't it be cool to get one of the greatest action stars of the 80s, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to play Mr. Freeze, and then bring in Bane into the same movie and Poison Ivy? But guess what? It wasn't cool, Joel. It was terrible. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And Jason and Dee are about to tell you why.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Shirley fans, boys and girls of all ages, if you ever thought there's no chance that any podcast in its right mind would cover the movie Batman and Robin, well, today, hell freezes over. I am here with my co-host and best friend, Jason Colvin, and we have our special guest back again for another What the Heck Happened edition of the Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast. You have Mr. Jeff Johnson from A Film By. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Guys, I'm doing great. You once told me that being part of a team means trusting your partners and sometimes counting on someone else, and that's the only way to win. So I'm asking you, friends, brothers, partners, will you trust me to find out what the heck happened here?
Oh, man. There are so many eye roll lines in this movie. I can't wait to dive into it, man. So we've got Jeff Johnson here from the A Film By podcast. Jeff, tell us about your podcast.
Well, Jason, over on A Film By, we love to talk about our favorite directors, Hollywood's biggest directors, the best directors, but we focus on the underrated hits rather than their blockbusters. We also have a lot of fun little mini-series, which both of you, I'm happy to say, have been a part of. Our 1986 series, our 1976 series. We've got the Star Trek themed phaser set to stun. So we've got a lot of stuff going on over there. We have a lot of fun. So if you like discovering work that maybe your favorite director has done that you didn't know about, that's what we do.
Now, before we get into this is actually our fourth What the Heck Happened matchup that the three of us have done. I think the first one, we even had Brad on with us.
Yeah.
Way back in season 2, I think.
Yeah.
Season
Has it
2.
been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Several years ago. That one we did Jaws 4 versus Superman 4, which I think laid the groundwork that Batman and Robin should have learned from.
Oh, yeah.
We also did Last Action Hero versus Alien 3, What the Heck Happened? And then last season we did Beverly Hills Cop 3 versus Jaws 3D, What the Heck Happened?
Yep.
And so today we are comparing Batman and Robin 1997 to Superman Returns 2006.
Yep. Today's episode will be focused strictly on Batman and Robin. Next episode, Jeff will be back. We will do Superman Returns. We'll not only say what the heck happened and how did these films go awry as they did, but we'll also tell you, picking between the two of them, which one is our pick. If we've got to watch it again, which one are we picking? Before we go too much further, though, I do have to just pull this out here. Okay. See these fantastic things right here? Got our Mad Magazine little books that Jason and I read all the time when we were kids. I want to thank Jeff Mazuka of the 30-something movie podcast for sending those to us among a whole box full of other ones just like it. Interestingly, because that text thread was going on Thursday or Friday of last week, I texted you and Jeff and I said, hey guys, I forgot I'm conflicted. I can't record this afternoon. And Jeff Mazuka went, am I supposed to record with you guys? Was this meant for me? And I'm like, oh, wrong, Jeff. Sorry. But yes, Jeff, thank you so much. Truly appreciate you listening, sending us those things. You are awesome as always. And guys, be sure and go check him out on the 30-something movie podcast.
There you go. Very good. Thanks, Jeff.
Great show.
All right. So, guys, this is the fourth Batman movie. You have Batman 89, which I dare say made a huge impact on all of us.
Can somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press? This town needs an enema.
You have Batman Returns that came out in 92. You have Batman Forever, which marked a shift in this franchise to a new Batman and a new director. That's when we lost Michael Keaton and we lost Tim Burton. We added Val Kilmer for one movie and Joel Schumacher. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Val Kilmer is difficult to work with, apparently.
So yes, we have discussed how Val might be on occasion difficult to work with. Now on this one, he actually was supposed to be in Batman and Robin. Like they had the plan that he would be back as Bruce Wayne / Batman, but he had already agreed to make The Saint. And it's kind of an interesting history because Batman Forever they didn't really think it was going to be anything that special. Like it was Batman Returns had been a disappointment. Tim Burton had taken the character darker. And when they are looking at doing a third in the franchise, they have to go out and kind of hustle to get investments and sponsorships and all these other things. And then Batman Forever ends up breaking the records for its opening weekend. And so they're like, oh, okay, great. And so they don't have to go out for Batman and Robin. Everybody now wants to be a part of it, including all the toy companies, which today we're going to learn a new word called toyetic.
Yeah.
Toyetic. And not heard that word before I started researching this one. But all that to say, they are going to come back and make this Batman and Robin, but Val Kilmer's people don't tell them until literally the 11th hour, oh, hey guys, Val can't do this. He's already making another movie called The Saint. And so they had to scramble, and they scrambled and ended up on George Clooney.
For me, the big one was getting Batman and Robin, right? And I called all my friends. Now remember, this is famously one of the worst films ever made, right? Famously. Everybody will say this is literally the worst film ever made. But when I got the part, I'm calling my friends going, yeah, I'm going to be in the next Batman movie. They're like, what are you going to play? I'm like, Batman. And they're, and you didn't really realize you're on the Titanic.
Which is not a bad result.
No, I think it's a good result.
Seems like
he's the hottest guy in town with ER. So
yeah, I mean, he was on everybody. I mean, he's probably in the sexiest people alive. He's obviously ER was at its pinnacle at that point. Everybody's talking about him. You're bringing back Chris O'Donnell.
Can't believe we were fighting over a bad guy.
Bad, yes. Guy, no.
You bringing in Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is an absolute icon at this point.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
Uma Thurman also tops of her game here. I mean, she had just come off of Pulp Fiction.
Gotta go. So many people to kill, so little time.
I mean, everything says, hey, we just had a success. We've got the same director, same writer, huge stars, all at the top of their game. What the heck happened?
What the heck happened, indeed. Jeff, let's go back one movie. Tell us your impression of Batman Forever.
honestly, I thought it was fantastic. I was a little upset that we were going to go in a different direction, but that's going to happen with Hollywood. You're going to have to recast guys here and there. And for what it's worth, I think Joel Schumacher did a fantastic job with Batman Forever. I mean, look at his track record. He admittedly talks about how he enjoys making darker films. And when you look at some of the movies that he had made up until this point, whether it's The Lost Boys or Falling Down or Flatliners, he's a proven winner. So I felt like the franchise was in great hands, honestly. And I'm always been a big Val Kilmer fan. So, if Keaton's got to move on, call the Iceman.
The Iceman cometh. What did you think of Batman Forever?
So I have not seen it since I saw it in the theater. And what would that have been? 95?
95, yeah.
But I do remember enjoying it. I had expectations for Jim Carrey that weren't met. Like I expected him to be not quite as over the top as he was, despite the fact that he was coming off of Ace Ventura at that point. And this was his first really, large budget movie. But I kind of liked the retelling of the origin story, and I was really excited about the introduction of Robin because before Batman 89, I grew up, I watched the Adam West, Nick at Night stuff. I watched Adam West and Burt Ward together as Batman and Robin, and I was kind of surprised on the first movie that there was no Robin, and then the second movie, again, no Robin. I'm like, man, when are they going to bring Robin? And then they brought Robin in, and it had fun with the names of Nightwing and different styles, obviously, than you've got in that 66 TV show, but I was excited to see Robin. I liked the new origin story. I thought Val Kilmer had a great performance because he gave you kind of the Bruce Wayne that's torn and depressed and dealing with a lot of demons. And so, yeah, I liked Batman Forever.
I did too. I was afraid that I was going to be the only one standing up here defending Batman Forever. I thought maybe I was hypnotized by Seal, like that song was the song of the summer, Kiss from a Rose. I was like, I just really enjoyed it. And I trust, like you said, Joel Schumacher. I think, Jeff, you said this. Joel Schumacher was a proven winner. I liked St. Elmo's Fire. I liked Flatliners. I liked The Lost Boys a lot. Falling Down's a good movie. A Time to Kill I thought was good. I thought this is in good hands. Warner Brothers made the right call. They've got a guy who knows how to do things. And, his reputation up to this point was that he was an incredible caster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So look at St. Elmo's Fire. You've got Emilio Estevez. You got Andy McDowell. You got Demi Moore. You got Rob Lowe. You've got Judd Nelson. You got Ali Sheedy. I mean, stellar young cast. Look at The Lost Boys. You've got Corey Haim. You've got Jason Patrick. You've got Jamie Gertz. You've got Kiefer Sutherland. You're just crushing it cast-wise. And then Flatliners. It's Julia Roberts and it's Billy Baldwin in it. Oliver Platt and Kiefer Sutherland. That's right. And so his strength was casting. And I think when you look at Batman and Robin, I think you've got the pieces to make a pretty good movie with Clooney and O'Donnell and Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman and Alicia Silverstone, who was hot as a firecracker from the Aerosmith videos.
And from, was it Poison Ivy? Was that the name of that movie? No,
Crush.
The Crush.
Yeah.
Crush. Yeah.
And from The Crush. Oof.
Yeah.
That was a memorable movie for me at like 15 years old.
Yeah,
it was.
No doubt.
Really, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw in Vivica A. Fox, you toss in Elle Macpherson, you've got Michael Guff from the first movie, you've got Pat Hingle, who played Commissioner Gordon. I think you've got the building blocks for a decent movie. So all you have to do is pick up the ball and run with it. And Jeff, what happened?
I mean, if you want me to cut right to the chase, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Tell me.
Studio executives happened.
Yeah.
That's what killed this movie. George Clooney there's a running joke in Hollywood that if you tell George Clooney that you paid for a movie ticket for Batman and Robin, he will refund you. Like he'll give you your money back. And he always jokes at how he killed the franchise. A lot of people went after Akiva Goldsmith, for the writing. You're talking about an Academy Award-winning writer right there. It wasn't his fault,
Now, wait a minute.
It's the studios. Okay.
I've got Akiva Goldsmith a little bit on the hook for this one. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Okay.
But I do agree with you. The studio meddled immensely in this movie.
So here's the thing. We've just talked about how great Joel Schumacher was, right? He could be when you got him directing a movie. And the bottom line is the studio wanted a toy commercial. Batman Forever wasn't supposed to be this massive hit that it was. And when it is, he comes knocking back, says, "Hey, I got a great idea. Let's go dark now. Let's get a little bit darker. I want to adapt Frank Miller." And they said, "No, absolutely not. We want this to be as kid-friendly as possible. And for that reason, we need more gadgets. We need more vehicles. It's got to be toyetic," right? D introduced the phrase to us, whether a movie is toyetic or not, and how many toys you can get out of it. So that is what the studio wanted. They put the bat cuffs on Schumacher, and he delivered what he was able to deliver. That's how I look at it.
I was really impressed because I didn't realize that Joel Schumacher actually, was pretty familiar with the comic books, and his vision for his second Batman movie was Batman Year One. That's what he was looking towards, which is it's a very dark, it's the Frank Miller series that they did. And what was kind of the inspiration ultimately for what we got when we watched The Batman, what was that, 22?
Yeah, 22.
By the way, if you guys are interested, Jason and I covered Batman 89 versus Dark Knight, the two best in the whole stream of movies that we have, Batman movies that we have, and then did a follow-up went and watched The Batman. I think we got a preview of that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, and we love all of those movies, but the key, I think, in all of them is you have to have real and you have to have tortured. And if you don't have real and tortured, you're going the wrong way with these guys.
All right. Before we get into what doesn't work, let's start with what works. Do you want to lead us off on what works in this movie?
Let's kick some ice.
Okay. You guys are gonna give me the dumb look here in just a second, okay?
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't hate this movie. I didn't.
Okay.
Now, we talked about the fact that I didn't go watch this movie because I heard so many people talking about how bad it was and how it was a betrayal of the original idea. And honestly, Arnold Schwarzenegger, even in the previews, it looks stupid to me. And so I did not ever see this movie until a week and a half ago. All right. And what I came into it with is this movie is on par with Beverly Hills Cop 3, which from our last year's episode, you know that I said should be buried deep, deep, deep down in the ground. It doesn't even qualify as a movie. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And so you guys have made this comparison. So I'm like, okay, I can't be disappointed in this, right? There's no way. I have zero expectations here. But when I watched it, yes, there's a whole lot of ridiculous. But as a guy who grew up with Batman and Robin from the 60s in the TV show, I could see where they were going. Like, this is what it was. And then even in the midst of it, you start to get the cartoon and when the bad guys fall down and there's on skates and vines defying gravity, and the bike, when it ramps, you literally can see it just hover as whatever is carrying. The special effects are terrible. The only thing, and the dialogue is also equally bad. All of this falls back to that 60s Batman, which was not only the 60s TV series, it was the 60s comic book. The comic books in the 60s had a lighter, more cartoony type of feel to them than any of the other comic books had. And so as I'm watching this, the only thing that I'm missing is the kapow flashing up on the screen. But otherwise, this is a modern day take on the 60s Batman. And for me, I just thought it was funny. Like, I was laughing out loud because of the campy, ridiculous nature of it. This is a movie that, had I watched it back in 1997, I probably would have been very angry and upset. And I kind of realized that, which is when I didn't watch it. But now, getting to watch it for the first time, it's kind of funny. Like, it's silly and can be so bad that it's good. That's the best way to define it. It's so bad that it's good.
You mentioned, you used the word cartoony. I'll point out that John Glover, who is an incredible actor, plays the crazy scientist that creates Bane.
Jason.
He shared he shared a story. Yes, Jason.
Pamela?
Mm-hmm.
You look great. Especially for a dead woman.
Hello, Jason.
He shared a story that Schumacher would be on this boom with a big megaphone before each take, yelling at everyone, "Remember, everybody, we're making a cartoon." And he said it was so difficult to get into character and just and really act. No, because Schumacher was in on the joke. He made sure everyone was in on the joke. We're here to sell toys. We're not making films. We're not making art.
Yeah. This was the horror of all horrors. And, we're going to get to what the heck happened and unwieldy. And I think, you guys talked about it. I think it's easy to blame the big bad studio, which is typically the reasonable choice because they're usually the ones that do it. But in this situation, you had something that had gotten so big and had so many expectations and so many people wanting to have their piece of the pie and be involved in this push that you had a fire hose that was out of control. And trying to hold on to it with all of the expectations that were out there was like trying to hold down a fire hose that's just going crazy.
D off the top rope with a gentleman, let's broaden our minds.
Yeah.
D possibly suffering from McGregor syndrome. We don't know. We'll find out by the end of the episode.
Jeff, what works in this movie?
Honestly, I think what works is not what we see, but what's happening behind the scenes. I got two things that I think I actually do work here. The first would be the soundtrack. I know you were mesmerized by Seal when Batman Forever came out. Me personally, my Firebird was jetting all over town like the Batmobile, but it was Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me by U2 on that. Well, now, honestly, I think the soundtrack's not that bad here. You got the Smashing Pumpkins, you got Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know why you don't have a Coolio song, and Jason, I know we kind of mentioned that. We talked about that a little bit, but pretty good soundtrack overall. I don't know. I like it.
Coolio, right off of Gangster's Paradise, and you don't have a song from him?
He's the banker that's running the illegal street racing pre-Fast and Furious situation. How do you not have? He's got a prominent scene. You see him, but you don't ask him to give a song.
He wanted to be appreciated for his acting.
Oh my gosh, he was in line to play the Scarecrow in the next movie.
I
don't understand at all. But it's not just the soundtrack, but it's Elliot Goldenthal's score. I think the music, the score in this is exactly what it needs to be. It feels very Burton-esque, like a Danny Elfman score, but a little bit bigger and more over the top. And it's pretty cool. It won some awards, and you got to remember Goldenthal. He had a Grammy nomination for Batman Forever. This is the guy that did Heat, Interview with the Vampire, Demolition Man, Alien 3. So good composer, good music. I think that works.
Okay.
Honestly.
Anything else?
One other thing, and D might think I'm suffering from McGregor syndrome this time, but keep in mind it takes a lot of people to do special effects, costuming, visual effects. It all works together. Let's not forget that the visual effects behind this movie come from John Dykstra.
Star Wars.
That's one of the most legendary names in Hollywood when it comes to visual effects. Star Trek, Star Wars, the new Godzilla movies, Raimi's Spider-Man, Caddyshack. Come on. So it's while I cringe at vehicles ramping over giant sculptured arms, it's the little things like Mr. Freeze starting to cry and like the single tear coming and turning to ice. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first superhero film to feature a fully CGI 3-dimensional superhero. Like there's certain scenes where Batman is 100% CGI, and that's common practice now, but that wasn't a thing back then, Yeah. So I'm going to say John Dykstra and Elliot Goldenthal definitely worked for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jeff. The set was impressive. Like all of the set pieces were genuinely for what they were going for what they were looking for. Big, colorful, impressive. I mean, the giant statues that they're riding around on through Gotham, they're big and impressive. And the techniques of the stuff that they had, the telescope and the observatory that they had, plus all of the Batmobile was supposed to be a toy, but I mean, if that's what it's supposed to be, and you're supposed to be appealing to 10 to 12-year-old boys, you nailed it. You got it. Like, I'm looking at that. I mean, like, if I was 10 or 12, I would want that Batmobile. It's fantastic.
The disco ball inside the engine of the...
Cool, man. And I still see cars driving around today that have those freaking lights under their wheels and stuff like that. My kids love the LED effect on cars. It's just something that appeals to that age group.
Okay. All right. Let me say what I think works in this deal.
What works, Jason?
All right. I'm going to agree with you guys. I think it's visually, I think it's dazzling. Okay. It's colorful. It's dazzling for like 8-year-olds, right? I mean, when Poison Ivy and Bane break into the hideout where the bad guys are, where they've got
Turkish bath.
The Turkish bath, where they have black lights and the guys got their makeup on. And I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. These guys, who gets up and puts on black light makeup for gang activity? But for a 7-year-old, for me, this movie is like watching 2 hours of the Electric Company Spider-Man skit. Do you guys remember that?
I would say,
I love that.
The Saturday Night Fever Batman.
Okay.
But hey, I mean, you think about the Batman, that first scene with those guys, they all had that same face paint on. It just wasn't glow in the dark face paint. They were the juggalos of whatever Gotham, but
okay. I can't get over the stupidity of that.
You're supposed to be saying what you liked about it.
All right. let me get back to the good stuff here. I do think that at this moment in time, I think the cast is good. I think Schumacher assembled a good cast, including some of the most beautiful women in the world. Okay. So I just want to throw this out there because at this moment in time, you have Elle Macpherson, you have Vendela, who had been recently on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Uma Thurman, you could do way worse than Uma Thurman. And Schumacher called her the most beautiful woman in the world, which is why he cast her. And then Alicia Silverstone, until she opens her mouth, she's extremely attractive. Yes, I said what I said.
It's the dialogue. I get it. I'm with you.
All right. This movie is awesome if you're under the age of 8. Except it's too long. I think it's too long. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes or whatever. Yep. This needs to be 40 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes, but there needs to be more action, more Batman.
What's right with the movie? Having a hard time with this one, aren't you?
I am. This movie's great for 5-year-olds.
McGregor syndrome. That's what it is, Jason.
All right.
Hey, Jason, real quick. You mentioned the beautiful women. There is one name that you omitted.
Ooh. Who did I? Vivica Fox?
No, you mentioned her.
Yeah, you mentioned her earlier.
Who else am I missing?
How about Julie Michaels? Okay, so I'm getting some blank stares, but I'm about to, when I tell you who she is, you're going to be like, oh, of course I remember Julie Michaels. Julie Michaels famous Playmate centerfold who probably most famous playing Denise in the Patrick Swayze classic Roadhouse. She was the blonde that does the dance, and
she's the girl that kicks Keanu Reeves' butt in Point Break.
She played Freight Train in Point Break. She has that awesome action fight sequence with Keanu Reeves in the shower.
What was she in Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
She killed Jason Voorhees, and Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday. She was the FBI agent. So in addition to just being an absolute smoke show, Julia is also a very talented stunt woman. And she was one of the Gotham citizens initially that gets frozen by Mr. Freeze and his ray gun.
What?
Yep.
Missed that.
I don't think I can go watch it again, but that is very interesting.
Apparently, Corey Haim has a cameo as well. I missed that one too.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah, he's with Cool. He's one of the biker gang members with Coolio.
And I swear I couldn't find any confirmation of this, but you had those group of guys who had kind of the Mozart wig, but were dressed in like the gray tuxedos. I swear one of them was Paul Rubens. I swear that you had Pee Wee Herman in that biker scene.
I know which one. That guy looks a lot like him. Do you know why those guys look like that, D?
No, tell me.
So Schumacher happens to be a Kubrick fan. So those gangs that were kind of scattered throughout there, you do see the Clockwork Orange guys.
Clockwork Orange. I remember seeing that. Yeah,
the Droogs, and then next to them are those Mozart-looking guys. That's from a Kubrick film, Barry Lyndon.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah,
that's cool. That's a nice touch.
Yeah,
not enough to go back and see it again. But I'm just pointing it out there.
Hey, before we go any further, I do want to mention, you mentioned Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. I just want to bring up that without Pee Wee's Big Adventure, we probably don't ever get Batman 89, which leads us eventually to Batman and Robin. So we're here today basically because Pee Wee Herman and Tim Burton knocked it out of the park with Pee Wee's Big Adventure in 1985.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, the MCU, Kevin Feige has made this claim. The MCU does not exist without Batman and Robin. He pointed out that this movie needed to derail as hard as it did for them to recalibrate and find a new formula.
That's right. So if you like The Dark Knight and you like the MCU universe, you can thank this movie.
Yes.
All right, Jason, for being the tornado that leveled the building so that we could build again.
That's right.
Jason, wait, what was the thing that you thought works for this movie though?
Yeah, I don't think I ever got that.
I said it's visually dazzling.
Yeah.
I think the cast works.
I thought you had one more. That's what I meant.
Well, I think that bringing back Pat Hingle and Michael Gough worked as Commissioner Gordon and Alfred.
Well, you can thank Schumacher for Michael Gough. Did you know that?
No. What do you got for me on that?
Well, when they were casting for Batman Forever, the movie prior, the studio said, all right, who's Alfred? He said, Michael Gough. They're like, no, he's done. He's too old. He said, what are you talking about? Schumacher went over to the UK, found him. Now, this is after Batman Returns, mind you. He's working for a very low salary, doing stage work in like London's West End or something like that. He's like 81 years old. And Schumacher went back to the studio, told Warner Brothers, like, look, this guy is in better shape than I am. And he is my Alfred. He's coming back. So Schumacher's the one that fought for him to come back.
I will say this about Schumacher. When he decides that he wants somebody in a part, he won't look at anybody else until he gets a firm, no, you're not getting this person. He just doesn't want to allow himself to be enticed by any other people when he already has somebody specifically in mind. So yeah, I mean, that's a great feature of his directing work.
Cool. Okay. All right. Before we tear into this movie, can we talk about the cast real quick?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cast, because I think you have the building blocks for a pretty good mid-90s movie. Okay. So obviously we talked right off the bat, George Clooney as the Batman. He steps into Val Kilmer's role. George Clooney coming off of ER. He was coming off From Dusk Till Dawn, which was a very good. He wasn't stupid in that movie, right? He was very cool.
Be cool.
And then after this, he does Out of Sight, which is a great movie. I love this movie.
Oh, I love Out of Sight too. Yeah.
Right?
Fantastic film.
So,
Hello.
Talk about smoke shows.
I like how you made it plural, smoke shows, because both J-Lo and George Clooney were smoking hot in that movie.
Okay, what do you guys think about Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Absolutely terrible. I'm sorry. He's absolutely terrible.
He absolutely is. And you might say, well, he just came out of heart surgery before he made this movie, but he wasn't, unless he was speaking, you weren't seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger. You were seeing his body double. They had a whole bunch of body doubles. They had 3 shots, 3 productions going on throughout where body doubles were used all over the place. But his speaking parts, being the only parts that he had to be concerned with, were horrible, which I'd like to blame him or I'd like to blame the writing, but it seems like it's both, because he had delivered those one-liners when he did Commando and it came off effectively. And then he gets these one-liners again and it's just terrible.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, they wasted him, because why do you hire Arnold Schwarzenegger and not show off the reason why people look at Arnold Schwarzenegger? You've got to have the muscles, right? If Mr. Freeze would have been like, "Rah!"
Jason disappointed there's not more Arnold skin.
Hey, I'm just saying, you got Mr. Universe. Let's see Mr. Universe. You don't ask him to be in a suit the whole time.
No.
I mean, of anything, I would expect that would be what Joel Schumacher would agree with.
Right, exactly.
You also don't ask him to, feel free to ad lib, because Schumacher talks about this on his audio commentary for the movie. He's like, yeah, Arnold loves his one-liners, so I just told him, like, yeah, have some fun with it. I watched this movie 3 times in this past week, and I may have missed 1 or 2, but my official count is 31. 31 times Arnold gave some silly Arctic or ice-themed pun in the film.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.
That's so bad.
It's a walking catchphrase.
The Iceman cometh.
Learn it well. Be the winter of your doom. Yeah.
What do we think about Robin and Chris O'Donnell?
Chicks dig the car.
I dislike his performance so much in this, but he's not the worst in the movie. So there's redeeming quality there.
Okay.
I can watch it and go, well, at least he's not this actor, and I'm sure we'll get to him. I'm sure so.
Okay, so hold on. Let's let's look at it from that frame of reference. Compared to, and we're not talking about them as actors as a whole, but their performance in this movie. Who was he worse than? Was he worse than George Clooney?
No.
Yes.
Was he worse than Uma Thurman?
No.
Was he worse than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
Was he worse than Alicia Silverstone?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa. You just said that when she opens her mouth,
she's horrible.
Right. So
yeah.
But you're saying that she was better than him?
Well,
no. The answer is no. All of the main actors, other than Chris O'Donnell, were horrible in their line delivery. These guys did not have a whole lot to work with. These were really, really badly written lines. And from my perspective, O'Donnell's the only one that pulled off what was given to him. I mean,
I think, granted, he's a whiny brat that you cannot stand, and he's written that way, and that's fine. But he really just hams it up in some of his scenes, though. Like when his bat bike gets cut, we cut the power on his bat bike, and he's like, "Rah!" It's like, come on, dude. Like, he's having a Captain Kirk Khan moment there on that statue arm, and we don't need that. Just dial it down, Chris, just a little.
I mean, you're talking about a guy. I don't know how to put this, but like, yes, it was bad, but it was surrounded by so much worse that he's still the best one there.
That might be fair.
Okay, but can you argue? Can you? I mean, George Clooney is playing George Clooney, though, so I don't know that we can say
George Clooney is smirking and smiling when he's delivering the news of the McGregor syndrome of the guy who raised him from the time he was a child. There's no tear. Like, what? No, it's.
I have that.
Awful.
I have that, and what doesn't work. I'm with you on that.
Awful. Every line delivery of every actor in this movie is terrible. It's just that O'Donnell's is the least terrible of them all.
Hey, Jeff, what was the line that Alicia Silverstone says that both of us were just dying laughing the other day?
Oh, when they're plummeting to their death and he catches her and he's like, "I've got you," but his line breaks and then she shoots her bat line and she's like, "No, I've got you."
Oh my gosh!
And you're
so
just
terrible.
like, "Shut up."
What about when she's like, "Hey, Bruce, it's me, Barbara."
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah. She shows up unannounced. "Bruce, it's me, Barbara."
Freaking no crap, Barbara. What are you doing here?
World's greatest detective. We can figure it out.
And you are?
Batgirl.
That's not awfully PC. What about bad person or bad woman?
Bruce, it's me, Barbara. I found the Batcave.
We gotta get those locks changed.
She knows who we are.
Guess we'll just have to kill her.
Yep, we'll kill her later. We have work to do.
But how do you deliver that line well? Like, how can you say that? There's
I-
not a way.
There's no way.
You
There's
can't.
not a way.
You really
And
can't.
I really, at the time that I was watching them and he was like, I've got you, I really wanted her to say, you've got me, who's got you? Because
Nah,
that would have
would've
been the
been funny.
throwback to Superman, right?
Yeah.
And then they twisted it and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, again, some really, really bad lines to deal with in this.
Yeah.
I like it's me, Barbara. If she just wouldn't have delivered it like she was 9, maybe that would have made it a little more less cringy. You know? It's like I don't know. It's like your kid comes in with a Halloween mask and says "boo," and you're like, "Oh!" And then they tear it off. No, Dad, it's me. Susie.
I fooled you.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you.
Hey, I've got a question for you guys. So I want to pose the what ifs to y'all real quick. Okay.
Okay.
So instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger, here's who they looked at as Mr. Freeze. Tell
I
me
know this.
better or worse. Okay. Ed Harris.
Way better. And I'm just going based off like the comic, and I'm not trying to be that comic nerd that's like he doesn't. I'm just saying you need someone that can. If you're gonna hide him in this big bulky suit, let it be a frail, sickly scientist looking guy. Ed Harris would have been better.
Home run. Oklahoma Sooner out of the ballpark right here. Okay.
I was waiting for it.
How about Patrick Stewart?
Ooh, that would have been a different take.
Yeah,
That's who they
looks
had
exactly
in
like
mind.
the animated version.
Right.
Interesting.
That would have been way better in my opinion.
He might have found a way to deliver those lines believably.
I heard Anthony Hopkins as well. I can't really see that, but as far as acting, he cannot be bad.
No.
Now, let's just look at Batman for a second. George Clooney's who they hired. David Duchovny is who they were looking at. I think that's worse. Okay.
Yes, it is worse.
That would have been a worse choice.
How about Billy Baldwin?
Worse.
Not ready. Too young.
Was Clooney the best guy they could have got at that moment in time?
I would say yes.
I kind of would agree with that.
I hated
I think
his-
he's the choice.
his deliveries on everything, but he's not like he is in anything else. So I don't know what to do with that. Like, I have to go, these were bad directing decisions and terrible lines.
Yeah.
It sounds like you just don't like how Clooney likes to bob his head and smile at you. You're gonna die, Alfred.
He's
a
been
bummer.
dying for years.
He's dead.
I can't save you, can I? Hey, Jason, you did have some great picks there for Freeze. Do you know who Schumacher wanted if he couldn't get Arnold?
Who you got for me?
This is from Schumacher's own mouth. I heard this on the audio commentary. He was looking, if Schwarzenegger wasn't going to do it, Stallone was his number 2 pick. Hulk Hogan was his number 3 pick.
Wow.
Based off of Rocky 3, he is like, I'll take Thunder Lips.
Oh, I could actually see Hulk Hogan being kind of pretty good in this one. Like,
Wouldn't that have been kind of cool?
He's so full cheese all of the time anyway.
Yes.
It makes what is coming out of his mouth like, oh, yeah, I could see Hulk Hogan saying these ridiculous things because he just says that stuff. He is, yes, those lines were like what a pro wrestler would say. That's it. You've solved the puzzle.
Yeah.
You
Speaking of Hulk
solved the
Hogan-
enigma.
Oh,
The Enigma.
nice.
Speaking of Hogan, you do know that one of the prominent actors in this film starred in 1989's No Holds Barred, right?
Bane.
Bane himself.
Jeep Swenson
Jeep. Yep.
passed away like 2 months after this movie was released.
Sadly, yeah.
He got to go enjoy this movie before he met his untimely death.
Yeah. He probably thought it was great.
Well,
Yeah. So, Jeff, did I send you the Instagram on him? Like, he obviously he died as a very young actor, right? And
he's only 40 years old.
At one point had the Guinness Book of World Records for largest biceps.
Yep.
But he did leave behind a daughter who is now known as Viking Barbie because she also is a taller, stronger looking lady. Guys, if you're looking this up right now, might not have the kids in the room when you look up her Instagram page. Just saying probably. She's got like 15 million followers on her 2 Instagram pages.
She's a really talented singer. I will point that out.
She does sing. I don't know if talent is the right word, but yes, she does sing.
Well, I'll tell you, if you ever check out her cover of Creep that she does with Jelly Roll.
Okay.
Pretty good.
All right.
Like her
Cool.
metal rap stuff, I'm not saying that's all that great, but when she wants to sing, it's pretty good.
All right, I got some alternates for you for Poison Ivy. I'm going to throw these names out to you, okay? These were the names tossed around in place of Uma Thurman.
I know one of them, and I'm already going to say yes.
Demi Moore.
No.
In 96?
No.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. I'll take Demi Moore in a second over Uma Thurman. How about Julia Roberts?
I mean,
That would have been fun.
She'd been better, but still not good.
No?
Yeah, I'm not vibing it yet.
The other name I heard was Sharon Stone.
That's the winner right there.
There you go.
But
winner.
Because she just existing is hot. She just existing in the mid 90s is fire hot.
Yeah.
And you would have had to have been to pull off this horribly written part.
I think they wasted Poison Ivy has zero sexuality in this movie.
They were trying real hard and just missed. And I heard Joel Schumacher say that he thought, the first time he saw her was as she came out of the shell as Venus in Baron von Munchausen, which is when I fell in love with her because I was a teenager and you saw her nipples. So, and so I was like, yes, I like her. And so, yeah, I was, and she was also hot in Pulp Fiction, even with the weird hair and all that other jazz. And so, yeah, to see her do this and just be not hot at all, like it just almost unsettling, nothing appealing about it at all. And then she delivered.
You can barely see those nipples.
And she delivered all of her lines as though she was Mae West in the 1940s. I don't get it. No guy finds that appealing.
Schumacher gave her a lot of license. So if you didn't know this, she's responsible for a lot of her makeup look and a lot of her hairstyles. She came up with those herself. The voice, I don't know where that came from or why, but
it's real bad.
Real bad.
And speaking of nipples,
let's talk about it. I mean, everybody's here to tell you.
I mean, I don't know how we have gone for something 35, 40 minutes, whatever we've been going, and have not talked about the bat nipples yet. But if these are supposed to be anatomically correct costumes,
anatomically correct bathroom,
and we've got female characters wearing costumes, I didn't see no Batgirl nipples.
I know. What the heck?
Or any Poison Ivy nipples. Lack of equality in this movie. I'm very disappointed.
Hey, seriously though, people were upset about the bat nipples on the bat suit. That's like line item 50 on what sucks about this movie. The fact that they changed suits in the middle of a fight with Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy at the end of the movie, they all changed costumes. I'm like, what the crap is going on here?
Because when that came on, I was like, ooh, that's cool. Why didn't they wear that the whole time? Got the silver on there. It looks badass. I'm like, wait, man, throw that other one away. Bring this thing out for the whole movie.
Toyetic. There you go.
Toyetic.
Not to mention the fact that, the Max Headroom Alfred gave Alicia Silverstone the keys to the Bat Kingdom without any training and throws her out there irresponsibly. Yeah. And she just shows up. Hey, I'm Barbara.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Hey, she studied judo at Oxbridge or whatever it was.
Not.
Suit me up, Uncle Alfred.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and one more thing. We have this whole thing where he's looking for his brother and trying to get this message to his brother, and no closure on that at all. Like, I really feel like, what? I mean, that's Chekhov's gun, man. If that thing doesn't go off in Act 2, you got a problem, and it didn't go off.
You remember how upset you were over the Poison Ivy monkey suit striptease?
Yes.
I can tell you the reason why that exists.
Okay, good.
It is almost a shot-for-shot remake from a movie called Blonde Venus. And in that movie, Marlene Dietrich, who was the smoke show of her time, does a strip tease from a gorilla suit. And Schumacher just wanted to go old Hollywood and to sex up Poison Ivy. He decided to go old Hollywood with it.
And that's
why she's in that monkey suit.
And Venus was who she was playing when he fell in love with her in Baron von Munchausen. So that has to be the mental connection there.
Are we on to things that don't work?
Yeah.
It sounds like we're there.
We've been going a while. We're going to double the episode with things that don't work.
Yeah. Okay. What doesn't work, guys?
The dialogue.
Dialogue is terrible.
The dialogue is
terrible.
part of this movie. And the delivery of said dialogue makes it even worse. You can have bad dialogue and pair it with good acting, and you're going to be probably okay. But if you pair it with horrible acting and horrible directing, there's just no saving it.
What was it? You guys would know more than I would. What was it? There's a famous thing about Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford where Mark was worried about the dialogue, and Harrison said something like, "Kid, if people are
it ain't that kind of movie."
That kind of movie.
It was after they were in the trash compactor scene, and Mark Hamill goes to George Lucas is about to go to George Lucas and is like, "Wouldn't my hair be all like wet and full of schmaltz and stuff like that?" And Harrison Ford is like, "It ain't that kind of movie, kid." Yes, this is not that kind of movie, right?
Good acting, you can get away with stuff, but bad acting, bad dialogue.
At what point did this movie lose you? Because for me, it's like, it literally is like 1 minute in, because the movie starts with cod pieces and bat butts. And
yeah, I was going to say, keep in mind, it's at 1 minute and 30 seconds the very first thing that you see is them throwing on the costume, right? The pre-credits are 1 minute and 15 seconds long. So if you're looking at the actual movie and not just who all of the actors and directors and everything else is, if you're looking at the actual movie, it's 15 seconds before you see jiggling butts and jiggling crotches. It's impressive. It didn't lose me at that point. I just went, all right, I know what to expect at this point.
How far we've fallen from Batman, where the opening credits, you're kind of moving around the bat signal and you're like, oh, it's mysterious. You got the great soundtrack. Oh man, that's the bat signal. Oh, I'm so hooked in. And this literally 30 seconds, I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah. If you go back and you listen to our episode on Batman 89, that was a prime decision-making factor on not making the movie. Honestly, they did not want to have the 1960s Batman. Tim Burton did not want to direct it. If what they wanted was the 1960s Batman, it was the agreement that this should be more in the Frank Miller Dark Knight style that got the movie made in the first place. And obviously, it was the right decision because the movie was an astronomical blockbuster, defied all expectations. So why 3 movies later do you go, yeah, let's just do it like we did it in the 60s. Let's just make it a cartoon. Why would you do that?
Here's the other thing. They had the playbook already laid out for them. Superman went from awesome Superman 1, pretty good Superman 2, bad Superman 3,
bad
Superman 3 to horrible Superman 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jaws, same playbook,
same story.
Incredible, pretty good,
bad
to horrible. Although we like it, right?
They're both pretty bad, but yeah.
I love
Batman. There's your playbook. All you have to do is not follow what they did to not end up in the place you are. It's so inexcusable. I can't even put words to it.
So I will say this. I wholeheartedly understand why everyone of our age group at the time that they watched Batman and Robin felt the way that they did, because to them, it was the same experience I had when I watched Superman 4. It wasn't just that this was a bad movie. This was a bad movie after you had made me fall in love with you for the first at least 2 movies, right? It was such a betrayal. That is why everybody despises this movie as much as they do. It's like Last Action Hero when we discussed it. I went in with no expectations at all and was not disappointed. It was a different take that I can see why everybody hated. I don't think there's anybody that can watch Superman 4 and say, oh yeah, I can see what they were going for here. I don't think there's any way that happens. But
Jason, ironically, the scene where you lose me is also the scene where you win me over at different points in my life. So when I'm watching this as the first time in the movie theater as a kid, there's a scene where I'm like, oh, really? Is that what we're doing? And as an adult, the same scene hits and I'm like, yeah, all right, let's have fun. And it's after the gratuitous codpiece nipple display. We spend 4.5 minutes watching the neon disco ball car come spinning out of the ground. And they're on their way, and the little TV pops up with Commissioner Gordon, Batman, We've got a new villain in town. He's calling himself Mr. Freeze. And that is straight out of Batman 66.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, I grew up on, those Nick at Night reruns, and I loved it, but I was already on to Frank Miller, and I was already on to Tim Burton and all that. I didn't want campy Batman anymore. But as an adult, Dee talked about this earlier. It's kind of fun to watch this movie as an updated 66 Batman.
You're exactly right. That line where Robin's like, "Don't wait up, Alfred," and he's like, "I'll cancel the pizzas."
A pizza.
It is very.
Like,
it's very 66 Batman, and I like 66 Batman. It's just not what I wanted to see in 1997.
I'm with you.
This is why Superman works alone.
And you still don't want to see it. Like, I'm just going to disclose the process that we went through. Jason was like, I cannot make it through this movie in one sitting. I'm going to have to watch it in pieces, which is what you did.
Took me about 4 tries.
And I think that has to stem from your anger that you still feel 30 years nearly later.
Yes. I'm bitter. Yeah.
I could also tell you this. Now, I rewound it to take some pictures. I rewound the. Do we call that anymore? I reversed it. What do we say when we're streaming? I don't know.
Go rewind.
I 30-seconded it back a couple of times. One was to get the face of the goons. The ice hockey goons, because.
The hockey team from hell?
Yeah, the hockey team from hell. After he punches him through the tray, the guy through the tray.
Yes.
And you see his face like through the tray. I'm like, that mask is the Predator mask. And I sent it to you.
Oh, 100%.
And I was like, dude, Predator mask, which I thought that's fun because Arnold is in this movie. So Arnold and Jesse both in this movie, right?
That's
so
right.
why not have that's fun. And then also the close-up, I had to, because it goes by fast. That scene went by fast, and so did the next one. I guess this was before that. Batman talking about how much money he has. Wow, was that a terrible dialogue between the two of them? Like, you don't have the money to bid on her. I'll take it from you.
I'll borrow it from you.
And he flashes a credit card, and it's on the screen for about half a second, but I managed to freeze it at the right spot. And it says on it, it's got the Gotham card, right? And it says Batman. Like, that's his name on the card. Not Bruce Wayne. Batman. And then it says good through forever. And I was like, oh, that's a good touch. I mean, that is a lot of work for a 0.05 clip.
And they got a lot of money to put that in there. So.
Yeah. Don't leave home without it.
It doesn't have Visa. It doesn't have Visa. It doesn't have American Express. It's like Gotham card or something like that. There's not even a merchandising thing on that one. It's ridiculous.
Can you imagine Batman going to the bank to fill out the paperwork to get that card? It's almost as ridiculous as him going to court as Batman in Batman Forever.
I like to think that maybe he got a letter like, you're pre-approved. he just called the
just
number.
Batman.
Yeah. I laugh every time I hear this line of dialogue when we were talking about how bad the writing is in the dialogue. Let's not forget that the movie has dialogue from Uma Thurman to Arnold Schwarzenegger where she says the line, "I'll help you grab your rocks." I mean, come on, man.
Hey, that's not half as bad as Clooney. Every time he says Dick Grayson's name, it's like, Dick.
Dick? Yeah. That's no accident when he does that. Do you happen to know where he got the decision to choose Bane and Poison Ivy as the villains?
No.
That was not a studio decision. And on the audio commentary, he talks about how, hey, this is the 4th movie. We're running out of people. And who do we go to? Now, you got to remember, Batman, the animated series, was wildly popular at the time. Schumacher sought the advice of his 6-year-old godson and asked this child, who should Batman and Robin fight in the new movie? And this kid said, my favorites are Bane and Poison Ivy. And that is the main reason, the only reason that they were chosen. Yeah, give that kid a credit for it.
When I watched this, I literally thought, I've seen Star Wars Kenner commercials that had more drama in it, where there's like, Chewbacca, let's go see what's going on down here. You know. Okay, guys, I've got a few tidbits I want to cover with you guys, but before we do, I wanted to call and cut this with you a little bit. I think there's just a few changes that you could tweak to make this maybe not a good movie, but at least Batman Forever type of good. Okay.
I am always excited to hear the Colvin cut.
All right. Here's what I have in mind. See what you guys think about this. Okay. So obviously we toned down the campiness, the costumes. We're trying to make Batman Forever here. So just tone it down a little bit. Okay. The ice puns, just a little bit. I'm not asking for everything. Just tone it down a little bit. But I want to see the origin story with Mr. Freeze. I want to see his wife. Why should we care about her? She's like his entire motivation. We don't care about her. You've got Vendela, and we don't get to see her walking around in real life. That was a waste. So I want to see.
You get to see the wedding video.
And
I hated when someone interrupts a movie.
Yeah, that's so stupid. So I want a legit origin story for Freeze. And I want to see Vendela walking around on Arnold Schwarzenegger's arm doing life together. Number 2, somebody has to die in this movie. I'm up for anybody. Okay. Robin.
Jason died.
No, forget Jason. Jason sucked. Robin, Barbara. I want to see not Alfred, not McGregor syndrome. I want to see him killed by poison ivy. Commissioner Gordon. Any of these people could be killed by a villain. Somebody has to have real malice in this. Somebody, a meaningful character, has to go. Number 3. We have to streamline the villains. 2 max, not 3. We didn't need Bane. He did nothing. He was just a goon. Number 4. We need to streamline the heroes. We have too many. We have too many people in this movie. You have Batman. You have Dick. And you have Barbara. Okay, get rid of Dick. I think it would have been cool actually to see Robin launch into a new movie. Like, hey,
like they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Metropolis needs Superman has been gone for 5 years and they're having trouble. I'm gonna go to Metropolis and help out. See ya, Dick. I mean, Nightwing or whatever you're gonna call yourself. Get him out of there. Okay,
you want a dickless movie?
I want a dickless movie. That's right. And then what I think you should have done was should have taken Elle Macpherson's character of Julie and Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman's character. I think you combine that, you take one woman and you give Batman or Bruce a romance where she also is a villain. I know that's very similar to Catwoman and Selena Kyle, but it adds a hook, it adds interest. If he's thinking about marrying this girl and she turns into Poison Ivy, I think that would have been way more interesting. So just a few tweaks. I still don't think you can save this. I think the best thing you could have done to this movie was burn the negative. But with just a few tweaks, you could have had at least a watchable summer blockbuster movie.
All I'll say about that Colvin cut is that Julie, Elle Macpherson's character, actually is canon. She was a Gotham socialite that Bruce Wayne, she was like his sweetheart for a long time back in the 40s and 50s. So turning her into Poison Ivy, I don't know. But
it doesn't have to be Julie. Just maybe he's hitting on this botany teacher named Pamela Ivy or whatever her name is.
Oh, yeah, okay. Other than that, I agree that some stakes, like someone dying, would have been given a little more gravitas, but I don't want to see Poison Ivy kiss Michael Goff or Pat Hingle because that's just sad. You know?
Watching those guys act like buffoons when she blows powder in their face. It was so stupid. It was very Batman 66. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Jeff, you got anything you can do to approve this movie other than burn the negative?
I think the only way to enjoy this movie, there's one of two ways. Either you hop in the DeLorean, you go back, and you convince the studio to let Schumacher make the movie that he wanted to make, or you live in this world where you sit down and you go, I grew up loving the reruns of the 66 movie and the 66 show, and I just want to live in that world a little bit more. And you just embrace it for what it is. Then you get a palate cleanser with like The Batman or Batman Begins or any Batman really that's not this movie. That's the only way you fix it.
D, is there anything you can do to fix this movie? And don't say it doesn't need fixing.
The fix on this one is to go rewrite the script. And I don't mean that you have to change the storyline. And I know that you think it's just this, 2-hour long toy advertisement, but there was actually like a story arc to the whole thing. It's just not great. But if you go back and you change the dialogue and you change the delivery, then this movie becomes a really good movie, I think, actually.
Now, there's been a lot of talk in the past year or so about Batman Forever, the Schumacher cut, which makes it a darker movie and a better movie. And if you guys have seen any of like the behind the scenes, like the takes, like the alternate stuff, it would be a lot cooler. It'd be a lot better film. Batman Forever, that is.
Okay.
My question is, there was a lot more Batgirl stuff that was in the movie and was supposed to be in the movie. There was this whole, I'm sure you guys remember this whole smear campaign against Alicia Silverstone, because God forbid an 18-year-old girl gains a little weight here and there, and there was some issues with the costume, so they cut a lot of stuff. I'm wondering, is this a better movie if you put more Batgirl in it to kind of flesh out her story so we maybe aren't disliking her? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm just putting it out there.
Listen, Alicia Silverstone can give you Clueless, and she obviously can kind of, she can play a tougher part like she did in The Crush. But I think Batgirl has to be wise, sophisticated, alluring. I mean,
British.
Maybe, yeah, because I mean, if we look back at other takes on it, she needs to be more than just a teenage kind of ditzy girl, which is what we got. So I don't know that doing more of that would actually be a good thing.
One quick tidbit before we cap this thing off. I think this movie is the reason why the Tim Burton, Nick Cage Superman movie was killed off. I think you can credit that to this.
By the way, Nick Cage was one of the ones considered to play Scarecrow. Had Schumacher made another Batman movie, he was a possibility. Now, he would have been a great Scarecrow. Like, Scarecrow has to be nuts, and Nick Cage is good at nuts. But yeah, no, I think that is another positive. Check that in the positive category that we didn't get Nick Cage as Superman.
3 movies got killed because of this one, because it killed the Superman movie. It killed Batman Unchained, which was going to be the next one. And then it killed the Nightwing movie. They were going to do a spinoff with Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So this movie kills 3 movies.
By the way, you brought up Batman Unchained. The idea for that was you have the Scarecrow, you introduce Harley Quinn, and through the Scarecrow's, those hallucinogenic things that he does to your brain, whatever, Jack Nicholson as the Joker was going to reappear.
Yep.
Take my money. I don't care what Batman Forever was or Batman and Robin was. Seeing Joker with Jack Nicholson back on the screen, that would have
been awesome. Actually, I'll give you one last. It actually killed 4 movies.
Hey,
I'm just now remembering this one. Arnold does this movie and ends up saying no because the productions are going to run too close together. He says no to the 3rd Conan the Barbarian movie. It was going to be. It was Conan the Conqueror, and when they couldn't make a deal, that studio went forward with it and changed it to Kull the Conqueror and brought in Kevin Sorbo. Our 3rd Conan movie that we've always wanted and waited for didn't happen because of Batman and Robin.
One more quick tidbit. The guy who is the skinny serial killer that they turn into Bane.
Yeah.
That actor's name is Michael Reed McKay. And if you see a really skinny guy in any particular movie, it's probably going to be that guy. But one of the parts that he did play is the Mummy in Monster Squad, which I'm just throwing out there because Jason and I are going to cover Monster Squad versus Teen Wolf come October when we're doing our Halloween stuff.
Heck yes.
And I'm not going to give away which movie I'm picking between this and Superman Returns, but I will say this. I don't put this in the worst Batman movie category. I would rather rewatch Batman and Robin than the Joss Whedon Justice League 5 days out of the week. I might watch Justice League 2 of the days, but I would rather watch the throwback to Adam West than the throwback to crap.
Wow. All right. Well, everybody come back next week where, Jeff, you're coming back and we're going to talk about Superman Returns. Bryan Singer's attempt at the Superman universe. We get a kind of a Christopher Reeve lookalike. We bring back John Williams music and it all comes together and is kind of a fizzle. So we're going to talk about what happened in that and come back for that. Jeff, what do you got coming up on your podcast?
Well, if I could, I'd like to talk quickly about what already happened on our podcast, just because it's relevant to this episode. So I'm imagining if you're listening to this, obviously you're Shirley fans like I am, but you're also Batman fans. I'm happy to talk about this one. Recently, we celebrated our 400th episode with a very special Batman episode, and Jason, you know what I'm talking about. I promise you, it's like nothing you've ever heard before. If you like Batman, check out our 400th episode, which is called Batman, a film by Richard Donner. And that's all I'll say.
I love that episode, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. All right, we'll see you guys back here next week.
Yep. Thanks, Jeff. See you guys.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to it. I'm every day until the weekend when I'm fly to Florida.
Nice. What are you doing in Florida?
Well, me, Andrew, and two of our other buddies, they got permission from the wives to head out on a guys trip. So we're going to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Because I said the same thing when they're like, I was like, really? That's what you guys want to do? And Andrew made a good point. He's like, man, he goes, Devin doesn't care about Star Wars. You know that. And my kids are like 3 years old. They don't care about Star Wars. I just want to go to Galaxy's Edge. I want to build a lightsaber. I want to fly the Millennium Falcon. And I was like, all right, I'm in. You sold me. I said, because I've never been to Disney World. I don't care about princesses and teacup rides and bullshit like that now. But I definitely want to hang out in Star Wars World for like a whole day or 2 or 3, whatever we're going to do. So that's what I'm doing.
You're going to love it, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.